Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new. We are back to watch another episode of The Acolyte. This is episode 3. It is called Destiny. I thought the first 2 episodes were really good, especially the combat, and I'm excited to learn a little bit more about like what the mystery is of the series. You know, what happened back on Osha and May's home planet with all the Jedi, and like why are they so regretful about it? Like, why do they want forgiveness from her? Like, what happened? I need to know that, and hopefully we might get a little bit more info in this episode. So before we jump into this, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. But other than that, let's jump into episode 3 of The Acolyte. What weird translucent bird is that? Are you killing that? Don't kill that.
May? How did you know I was here? Let it go, May. Stop! Why do you always have to do things like that? Why do you always run off alone?
Okay, so she's got some dark
I don't want to do the Ascension.
tendencies.
We'll do it together. Come on. Can we stay here a little longer? Let's go home.
Okay, so from an early age, May was better with the Force.
What are you doing here?
We just chilling?
How many times have I told you? It is not safe out here.
Why?
Sorry, Mother Coral.
There will be consequences for breaking the rules.
It isn't fair.
You got horns like Darth Maul. Ooh. Young Stunna. He's looking way younger. This must be, I mean, I don't know, I was about to say this must be when the event happened. Clearly it's when the event happened. I'm an idiot. It's a big ass wall. Is this
Can we have
only,
some spice creams?
is this only women?
My sweet
She's
girls
pretty.
must have sweet treats. Don't you think so, Coral? Did anyone see them?
I do not believe so.
Any sign of the visiting Jedi?
None. Our scouts think they've moved their ship inland.
They didn't. They're just being sneaky.
As our leader, I've always deferred to you when raising the twins. But you're too lenient. A firm hand is required.
Osha is testing her boundaries. It's normal behavior for a child.
The twins are not normal children.
Why?
All living things are connected by the same thread.
The Force.
Thread woven through all of existence.
Damn. She can, like, make it visual. It's pretty bitchin'. It's called the Force.
Some call it a force.
The
They
Force.
claim to use it. But we know the thread is not a power you wield. Pull the thread.
Okay.
Change everything. It ties you to your destiny.
Are you like the Hand of the Force or whatever that group was called in the books?
The power of one.
So 2 will be obviously more powerful. Wow, these kids don't pay attention at all.
And tonight, at the ceremony, you will experience the the power of many.
Pay attention.
Neither of you are paying attention.
Girls,
Let go of me! You let go of me!
your enemies will not warn you before they attack.
It's just a firm backhand to those kids.
Block me.
Only one of them seems to
Excellent, May.
do it. The other one just hides behind the other one. The Jedi are here.
I don't want to do the Ascension. But that's how we become witches.
Okay. Obviously not witches of Dathomir, so a different...
I don't know if I want to be
different
a
group.
witch.
The thread tied you together before you were born. Tell her you love her.
I love you. Don't be afraid, Oshi.
So if one of you becomes a witch, the other one has to become a witch as well?
What are you drawing? Stop! Don't look. It isn't fair. I share everything with you, and you hide things from me or run off alone. I want to have my own things. Why?
She wants to be her own person.
Because we're not the same. Of course we are. No, it feels that way because we're the only children here.
Yeah, what's up with that? This looks like a dam. I'm trying to remember the name of that group in the High Republic books that hates the Jedi because they think that the Force isn't something that you can like claim or like try and use. I thought it had something to do with the hand, but I could be wrong. Damn, girl. Getting fierce.
We were hunted, persecuted, forced into hiding, all because some would consider our power dark, unnatural. We were on the brink of extinction. And then we were blessed with a miracle. The gift of life.
Okay. This is kind of weird. Who's in that hood? Is that a Jedi pretending? They're just kind of
The thread has tied
being
together.
freaky, standing
No
off to
one
the side.
can separate. The power of one. The power of two. The power of
Three. The power of 4.
the power of one.
And then the ultimate power, the power of 5. Forming Voltron. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story?
Do you vow upon my death to protect the secrets of our coven and continue our legacy?
I do.
That's how she gets that tattoo. Or not not a tattoo, I guess, just the same design. Cool. So that's the whole thing? They just get a sick facial tat? That's all the Ascension is? She doesn't want to do it? She clearly does not.
Two.
It's gonna fail. Oh, interrupted.
They've sliced the platform.
The 4 Jedi that she wants to kill.
I am Master Indara, and these are my colleagues, Sol, Kelnaka, and my Padawan, Torben. Forgive our intrusion. We thought this planet was uninhabited.
The all-knowing Jedi were ignorant of their surroundings. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, because she's lying to you.
Look at their robes. How they wear their sabers. Get back here.
You guys are awful at following directions.
We are concerned that you are training children. The Republic law states...
Brendok is not a part of the Republic.
There are no children here.
Kelnaka says different.
Come out.
Okay, now she follows directions. Yeah, she ain't trying to stay here. She's like, this place sucks.
My name is Sol.
Osha.
May we meet your sister?
It's really up to her sister, not her.
Where is their father?
They have no father.
Interesting. Like, legitimately they have no father, or like you killed him?
That marking. It wasn't there this morning.
You're spying on us?
They want to take our children!
The Jedi do not take children.
Hold your tongue or I cut it out for you.
You kind of do. Like, all the time.
I think you would make a very good Jedi, Osha. Would you like to be tested and see if you could become one?
Yes.
If you want your Padawan returned to his right mind, I suggest you all leave. Now.
Interesting.
Please let me take the test.
You cannot deny that Jedi have the right to test potential Padawans. With your permission, of course.
I mean... send it, I guess, but... The Jedi definitely take kids. We're being real.
Bed, now.
They definitely kind of like frame it and manipulate it
We make our move
into,
tonight. While the
you
moons
know,
are high.
the parents agreeing to send them with them, but really they take kids.
There are only 4 Jedi. Who would miss them?
We must let them test the girls.
No.
We don't have a choice.
Osha wants to do it.
I did not bring the girls into this world so we could lose them to a bunch of deranged monks.
It is not your decision.
You're a deranged monk, you weirdo.
I carried them.
I created them.
And what happens if the Jedi discover how you created them?
How did you create them?
How will we know how to fail?
I don't know what they will ask you. Whatever's in your heart, you must say the opposite.
I will stop them. No one's taking me. The Jedi are bad. The Jedi are good.
This isn't about good or bad. This is about power.
Very interesting.
And who is allowed to use it? Right now, you want to be a Jedi. But as you grow, what you want, it changes, it shifts.
Yeah, she did stop wanting to be a Jedi eventually. Check out that bitchin' speeder. You want to ride that? Join the military. How many pull-ups can you do?
Hi.
Can you understand Shriwook?
Do all Jedis get one of those?
After much training, yes.
Ow.
Testing your midichlorian count.
A spaceship.
Wrong. Idiot.
Correct. How about this next one?
A mountain.
Correct.
That wasn't a
Did someone tell you to fail this test?
She's like, that wasn't a mountain, you piece of shit. Quit lying to me.
What do you want, Osha?
She wants to become a Jedi. At least right now.
I want to be a Jedi.
Then you must have the courage to tell the truth.
We should continue the test.
Indara, how about you chill? She could feel it. She knows.
I told him I wanted to be a Jedi because I do.
You don't mean that.
I do. I want my own life. I don't want to share it with May.
I agree. I think she should be allowed to have her own life.
What's wrong with you?
Go and take a walk, May. Take a walk with Mother Coral.
But
Now!
Mama! What's wrong with you? Mama! Mama!
May, you need to chill.
If you want to pull the thread, then pull it.
See how your life changes.
Fear should not make this decision, Osha. You should.
Send it.
I want to be a Jedi, Mama. I do.
I must discuss the situation with everyone here. But we will consider your wish when we do so.
Single tier acting school. She graduated. What a goat. Oh, a young entrepreneur. A young attendee of single tier acting school. What a goat.
I won't let you leave.
Interesting.
You can't go. We're stuck here now. It's not up to you. You can't stop me. Yes, I can. How? I'll kill you.
What? How are you gonna do that? She's drawn the
May,
Jedi symbol.
let me out. May, please!
No, her book.
Mama! Help me!
That's not good. Is there another way out of here? This is why she becomes a mechanic. Because she's super good at this.
Oh my God.
There's a quick spreading fire for a room made of stone. Jesus. May, what did you do?
Osha!
Osha! Where's Mama?
Shh.
Where's Mama?
Look at that pile of bodies over there.
What have you done? What have you done? What have you done?
Damn, what happened to them? There's no way May did all of this. I bet that horned lady took control of someone's mind and did some shenanigans.
What happened?
They started a fire. It destroyed everything. It killed.
Mama?
There's gotta be more that went down.
No.
That seemed like entirely too much destruction for that small fire.
You're trained as my Padawan.
Pretty decent kid actor, but
You're going to be okay, Osha. You will never feel like this again. I promise.
I think she's always gonna feel like this. Single-tier acting school again. Double graduate of the single-tier acting school. She seems a little confused. Interesting. Okay, there's definitely info that is being kept from us. Like there's something else that went down. You know, maybe there was like a third party that was influencing things. You know, similar to how Palpatine kind of like brought together the Force dyad of Rey and Kylo. You know, maybe there's like an outside Sith figure or something that was also influencing this dyad and making May act really weird and like borderline psychotic. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of different things. Let's go over the things we know. The things we know for a fact. May has shown herself to be more proficient in the Force. Like she is the one that like seems to have a better handle on it, seems to be more willing to use it, and Osha is the one that like seems a little more timid, isn't as strong, like it's not her forte, is less willing to use it. Like in the training scene, she actively like hides behind her sister while her sister does the like actual defense. She also just seems to have like a less psychotic personality. Like she cares about doing the right thing and like doesn't want to be stuck in this town and be responsible for, you know, the coven that they're a part of, while May is like all about it. She's like, heck yeah, this is awesome. But like some of her attitude seems a little darker and a little more violent and angry. You know, her personality seems that way already. So it's when she's like, I'm not gonna let you leave, I'll kill you. Like it doesn't come as like a gigantic surprise. Like it's not too large of a leap to assume like, hey, she would react negatively. But it does feel a little bit farther away than what she actually would have done. Like I don't think May, acting in her right mind, would have made the decision to kill her sister. And even, yeah, I don't think she would have done that. So it's like, what? Like why would there had to have been something acting upon her mind or something. I don't know. Like it just seems like, and not an out of the blue thing, because like there was markers in her behavior that kind of lead that way, but like just a little bit of a reach. You know, I feel like there's more that like she was being influenced maybe by other members of the coven, particularly that horn lady. that Horn Lady was like dead set against them going. She was like, nah, like I carried them. I'm not letting them go. The Jedi can go F themselves. We'll kill them. Like some of the other sisters are like, who's gonna miss for Jedi? Like they clearly were dead set against these kids leaving, and particularly the one with the horns. So it's possible she might have done something, or the mom did something. I don't know. I mean, they showed that they were capable of like infiltrating people's minds, so it wouldn't necessarily surprise me a whole lot to know, like, to hear if they actually did something to influence May's mind and cause her to do these actions, whether that be like directly, like they actively made her do it, or maybe just like the subconscious animosity of all of those people infected May's mind. Like maybe they didn't make a choice to be like, hey, go kill your sister, but there was like this like feeling of animosity and bitterness and whatever amongst them, either towards the Jedi or maybe even towards Osha a little bit, because she was like, I want to leave. You know, maybe they had a little bit of animosity, and then because May is like strong in the Force, and you know, she went through the Ascension to like be part of the many, maybe she has this like innate ability to like absorb that feeling of animosity, and that caused her to do that. I don't know. And maybe like once the rest of the coven were dead, it like wore off a little bit. I don't know, because like once they're all like laying dead off to the side, Osha is like, what did you do? And she's like, what did you do? It's like they both, I don't know if it's like them both blaming each other for like the explosion that happened and all that, or maybe she's like, hey, like you wanting to leave caused all this, like, so it's actually your fault that this happened and not my fault. I don't know. But yeah, like May's behavior in that moment seemed a little out of place. But then okay, so we have all like that info, right? We know that Osha passed the test. You know, she showed enough Force sensitivity to become a Jedi. May intentionally failed the test. She could have become a Jedi if she wanted to, but she's a little too dark and wanted to be, you know, part of this. They were going to let them both do it, which is very interesting. What else do we know? We know that they didn't have a father. Theoretically, like, I'm pretty sure there like literally is no father. You could maybe argue like semantics and argue that like them being like there is no father. Maybe they were actually saying there is no father anymore. Like they used a man to like initiate this process, but then once like the pregnancy took hold, you know, we kill that guy. Like he's out of the picture, you know, saying there's no father even though technically there was. Or the probably more likely scenario is that there literally is no father, and that they somehow created these kids like using the Force, which is crazy because that means they're similar to Anakin, because Anakin was created via the Force by Darth Plagueis, right? It was Plagueis. It wasn't Palpatine that did it. I believe it was Plagueis. Maybe. Yeah. Right? It was, I'm like 90% sure it was Plagueis that created Anakin using the Force, and then Palpatine killed him. Maybe Plagueis learned how to do that from these coven, like this coven of witches and the information that he had on them. I don't know. But that's seemingly these two are the only other beings in history that were just like created via the Force. Like Anakin is the next one after that, and he is incredibly powerful, and he's the chosen one. Maybe if they had been created as one being instead of two, they could have been the chosen one. But who knows? We also know that the Jedi did something on this planet. Like, it wasn't a situation of, right, like they actively did something bad on this planet, where, because in the present day, you know, we have episode 1 where Indara is like, the Jedi do not attack unarmed people, and Osha is like, or May is like, yes you do. So like something happened. Either they actually did something, or like May saw a vision of something, or like she was told something happened that didn't. I don't know. I think the Jedi actually did something, because in episode 2 with Dean Charles Chapman's character Torben, when he asks for forgiveness, he's like, forgive us, like, or forgive me, we thought we were doing the right thing. That could mean a couple things. You know, maybe he's apologizing for the Jedi going there in the first place, being like, hey, I'm sorry we showed up, because when we showed up at your spot, like, everyone died. And, you know, we thought we were doing the right thing. Maybe the right thing is, like, we can't allow non-Jedi to be trained in the Force in this galaxy. Like, it's just not an option, because, you know, the Jedi view anything that's not the Jedi way as, like, not okay. Especially if it's just a random coven of witches that may or may not be accessing the dark side of the Force. I don't know. In the High Republic time, it's also, what was the freaking it's not the what is the group that like claims that the Jedi don't have a right to use the Force? I forgot that. I've read like pretty much all the mainline High Republic books, and I for some reason it's slipping my brain, but there's like there's like a figurehead lady that like runs this group, and she like hates them. I thought it was the Unseen Hand, but it could be called something else. I don't remember, but maybe they're like also have that in their minds of like, hey, it hasn't been that long since there was a group of people who literally would like kill Force users and train them to like fight against the Jedi and all these different things. So like maybe he's like, hey, we thought we were doing the right thing by coming to this planet and recruiting you guys and like taking you away from your family. Like maybe that's what he means by we thought we were doing the right thing. Or maybe something else happened. Something else went down. Either they got their brains messed with by these witches, or one of them is a liar. You know, one of these 4 Jedi is a straight up liar and is saying shit happened or didn't happen, and saying they acted righteously when they didn't. And maybe it's Indara, maybe it's Sol. That would be devastating if it was Sol, if we find out he was the one that was lying. Because like that level of destruction did not seem appropriate to what May did. May lit a fire. Like, she torched that door, and first of all, that room went up in flames. That was a fast acting fire. Maybe they had chemicals in the fire itself, or like there was a carpet on the ground that had some like fast burning elements to it, but that room, from what I could tell, is like made of stone. And stone doesn't really like set on fire all that great, but that thing went up in flames. And it wasn't just her room, it was like everywhere, like like the whole big central thing exploded and is like taking stuff out. And then in the other room, everybody, like in the other room and then in the main courtyard, everybody's dead except for the Jedi. So I don't know, maybe May maybe someone killed the mom Like, one of these Jedi killed the mom somehow. I don't know. And then May, like, went into God mode and just started destroying everything. I don't know. Or one of these Jedi is a liar and they just, like, straight up started killing everyone. Or there's some outside force acting on this. You know, like, we have that Sith that is training May, current day. Either they're an apprentice or they're the master. My guess is they're an apprentice. Maybe they or their master, like, influenced this situation somehow to create this environment where May would drift farther and farther to the dark side. That's a possibility. I don't know. There's just a lot of info that is being kept from us. Like, something else went down. What they showed us in this episode is not the entire picture. I'm kind of glad that people on Reddit are making the same joke that I made in the reaction when I made the joke when Kilnaka was fixing that dope speeder, but everyone else is like, Jedi recruiting, be like, hey kid, you want to know how you too can get a sick ass lightsaber? And someone said that's how the army got me. And I made a joke in the reaction where I was like, how many pull-ups can you do? Because that's one of the things that, like, the Army and Marines and Air Force and all that do for, like, recruiting, like when they go to your school or, like, out at the fair or at an event somewhere. They just have, like, a pull-up bar set up, and they, like, test how many pull-ups you can do, and if you do a certain amount you win a prize or something, and they use that to recruit for the military. So I was like, you know, the Jedi stroll up, they're, you know, showing off their lightsabers, you know, being like, ooh, look at this cool lightsaber, child, like, do you want to hold it? And then they go to be tested at the ship, and Kilnaka's out there just, you know, casually working on this dope-ass speeder. Just, like, showing off all our cool stuff. You know, look at this dope ship we have. You know, look at this speeder out in the yard. Like, we're having a grand old time. You want to be a Jedi? It's awesome. Like, you know, we'll pay for your education. That speeder is the modern day Dodge Charger. But yes, so there's definitely still some big event that we are not being shown. My guess is the rest of the sisters might have even rebelled against the main mother, like Anastasia, because she seemed resigned to letting Osha leave, right? Like, she was like, hey, I'm not going to force this kid to stay. Like, if this is what she wants to do, I'm going to let her do it. Like, I'm going to bring it up to the rest of the people. She's the one in charge. She's like, I'm making these decisions. She already kind of pulled rank earlier in the episode. And the rest of these sisters were not happy. I mean, even allowing them to be tested, there was one of them that was like, we don't really have a choice. But then the horned girl's like, no. So I imagine if Anastasia goes to the rest of them and is like, hey, I'm going to let Osha leave. I'm going to let her go with them to become a Jedi. I can imagine those sisters rebelling. You know, I can imagine the horned girl being like, I'm the leader now. They rebel and kill her. And then chaos ensues. Maybe May sees her mom dead and assumes the Jedi did it, or is told the Jedi did it, and that's why she does all this. And then there's a larger conflict that happens. I don't know. Clearly, there's still more. There could have been a secret Sith hiding amongst the people. You know, there was that figure that was at that, like, ascension meeting that we didn't see their face. It was just an individual in a cloak just chilling there. And I thought initially, I was like, maybe that's a one of the Jedi just, like, chilling undercover. But maybe that was the Sith that, you know, was involved in this somehow. I don't know. And maybe they are the ones that saved May from dying, because she fell down that hole. Like, she fell into the explosion. And so maybe they are the one that saved May from dying, and potentially, it would be a young Plagueis around this time. If Plagueis is around, he'd be a fairly young guy, right? I feel like how old is Plagueis' species? How old do they live? Like 150 maybe? I don't know. But I feel like if he was alive, he'd be a somewhat young dude, younger than 35, right? He'd be a bachelor. If it wasn't him, it'd probably be his master, which is like, it's like Darth Teneboris or something like that. I forgot the name, but they talked about in the episode, like, what if the Jedi find out how these kids were born? It's possible that, like, Plagueis used these kids as like a first draft, you know, before figuring out how to make Anakin. You know, he's like, I'm gonna try these kids out, you know, test whether or not I can really do what I need to do with these kids, and then maybe eventually, like, we see it doesn't work out in the series, and so then he's like, all right, back to the drawing board. I'm gonna create Anakin. You know, who knows? But maybe he saved May, and then gets May in touch with the apprentice. I don't know. Also, I'm pretty sure right now my theory is that one of these witches took control of the mind of one of the Jedi, whether that be Torben or Kelnaka, because there is a shot in the trailer of Kelnaka attacking Torben, like straight up attacking him. And then we also have, like, the scars on Torben's face that are probably from Kelnaka. So something happened. Someone got their mind controlled, and then shenanigans ensued. The Jedi don't take children. They ask permission, and then they take them with permission. And sometimes the parents say no. And if they say no, then knows the answer. But they don't say no because of the implication. There's a theory on Reddit that says that, like, May and Osha are literally the same person. You know how Osha keeps talking about how she wants to be her own person and do her own thing without the connection to May. They're saying a theory of, like, they were essentially, like, meant to be like one person, but they ended up becoming two people with their, like, souls, like, kind of split in half, with one being on the, like, the dark side of the Force and one being on the light side of the Force. And that kind of makes sense because, like, May's a low-key little serial killer. Like, we get scenes in, like, right away of her, like, torturing animals. Like, she was about to tear the wings off that little fluorescent bird. Like the little butterfly bird thing. She was gonna kill that thing. So she's low-key a serial killer. And that's bad. The path of the open hand is the term I was looking for the entire episode. I was like, what is the name of that group? I was like, I know it had something to do with a hand, and it's the Path of the Open Hand. That's the group that, like, deemed that the Jedi were not, like, the arbiters of who can use the Force. Like, they essentially decided, like, nobody gets to use the Force. The Force is just a thing that exists, and if you are someone that decides, like, hey, I can use the Force, whether it be Jedi, Sith, whatever. Like, if you're a practitioner of the Force and you claim to use it, like, we're gonna kill you because nobody has possession of the Force. I got a little bit of vibes of that from this group, where, you know, the Anastasia was straight up like, you know, this is about power and who's allowed to wield it. Maybe she is, like, a descendant of someone who was part of the Path of the Open Hand, and, like, some of those teachings passed down to her. But like, their group very much feels like a mix between the Witches of Dathomir and the Path of the Open Hand. That would be how I would best describe them. Overall, I thought this was a really solid episode that kind of, like, deepened the vibe and the mystery of, like, what exactly is going on. Like, what caused this big rift? Why are these Jedi so regretful? Things like that. We're really diving into it and getting more info, but also like actively being lied to. Like, there's clearly something more going on. So I really enjoyed it. The only part I didn't love, which I thought was kind of bad, was some of the acting from the kids. They were a little wooden. I mean, they're kid actors, so you can't really expect a ton from them. Like, they're children. Sometimes they're just not incredible actors. That's just happens sometimes. I've made that complaint plenty in other shows, specifically like the live action Avatar. Hate the main actor of Aang. He's god awful at acting. And these actresses, they're not bad at acting. They're just like not incredible. It's a little wooden, a little stiff. And given the fact that like they were the main focus of the entire episode, it does make some of the vibe come off a little wooden and a little stilted. That's okay. So I didn't love that part. And then the whole ascension ceremony, it was cool, but then when they started chanting, it was just in English, and I don't know why, but I feel like it would have worked so much better if they would have picked. I mean, you could have picked any language in the modern day. You could have picked like a made up, probably just make a language up, just say some random gibberish, and then have the subtitles be, you know, one of two, one of three, one of many, whatever. But the fact that it was just like in English, I was like, it sounds so dumb. Like, I think those are the only two parts of the episode that I thought were a little rough. Everything else was very engaging, and I'm actually like really invested to see what the frick is going on, because there's some shenanigans afoot, and I need to know. But yeah, so that's all I have to say about this episode. Definitely let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. I'm very curious to see how you guys feel. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.